Back on at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We are back. Brewz Brothers, episode 13 for the culture. Lucky 13. And we just came from back from break, talked about a number of things. We got a couple of additional special guests, friends of the program. We'll give them an opportunity. They both said they didn't really want to talk on the mic, but I really just want you to introduce yourselves real quick, and maybe as we get a little more oiled up, you'll get a little more loose about the lips and want to say a couple of things.
It always happens.
Without fail. So,
thank you. I'm Andy, and I'm a beer lover.
Andy, you sound like you should be a host on an NPR show.
Yeah, right? You have a voice.
Let NPR know.
Mission Radio.
Stingray Belmont. Back on the mic again.
I'm Sarah. No voice for radio, but I'm with Andy and friend of Mark and a beer lover.
Oh, come on, Sarah. You got a delicious voice.
Well, thank you for joining.
Okay.
So thank you.
Oops, mid-drink.
Right.
Put Harry off his game.
You did, right? Oops. So this is post-break, which means we're already an hour into drinking. So we're already a little bit loose. Not that we come in tight, but we're already a bit loose. But so what you two can provide is just a little bit of what you think about Brewz Brothers. Just come from the outside looking in. I know, Andy, I know you came out to Eastern Market when we were in there a couple of weeks ago, and yeah. So what do you think, man? What do you think about the group, and what was it like hanging out with us?
Well, it's very interesting that that there's a whole culture around beer, and that it brings people together. Of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to sound like a beer commercial, but it is.
Well, you don't unless you
it
start
really
touting
does.
how you don't use honey or whatever. In your
Corn syrup.
corn syrup,
No corn
right?
syrup.
My wife Sarah here kind of got me into beer in the first place.
She's a keeper.
And
And
sports.
And sports? Oh, she's
sports.
definitely a keeper.
If I ever want to know a rule about sports, I ask her.
All right.
Unless it's arbitration rules in baseball, and then I have to answer.
I was going to say, those get a little complicated.
General managing rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or why the third foul isn't out.
Oh, well, only in softball.
Only in softball, right.
Yeah, and
Sports Brothers.
Right.
Sports family.
Right over my head. Right over my head.
Well, thank you for that totally candid and unsolicited input. We just, Mark's good friend was here with us, and we brought him in the studio to hang out and have a couple of beers with us. We got room. We got a couple of empty seats, so, we're one big family. It's kind of what we do.
And the blocks have lovely voices.
Oh, clearly. Clearly. So, I want to talk about this Holmes collaboration. I like this. Holmes and Other Half.
This is the one that wasn't available here, though.
Correct.
So,
yeah. It's
Who brought this?
that'd be Andrew.
Werner. Yeah, Werner, you got to come to the studio more often, dog.
I know.
That's my entry ticket.
You good, man. You good.
Slice the pies.
Yeah, so this actually checks all the boxes for me with a sour. For me, a sour is in my wheelhouse if it is fruited and 6% plus ABV. This is 8% and it's quite fruited, and it's got a little
Cobbler.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
It's got that little pastry vanilla.
Yeah, it's got some vanilla, maybe some lactose. I didn't read everything on the can.
Me neither.
We just
I'm just
pour it and drink it.
I read the name and I'm like, whatever.
Holmes,
Okay.
Other Half. Nah.
So we got cherry, blueberry, almonds, cinnamon, vanilla, and milk sugar.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
lactose and vanilla.
Lactose,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that rounds it out well.
Ken had blueberry pie, and I was like, yeah, let's do that one. That's all I need.
Well,
I love
Sasha
me
with the
some
blueberries again.
Oh
love
boy,
me some
blueberries.
back on the blueberry.
If
So
it
good.
had coconut in it, Sasha would be under the keg somewhere with with a bib and
There's nothing
maybe.
polite to say about what I'd be doing with that beer right now. Is there any left of that one? That was good. It's very fruit, like you said. It's fruited, very blueberry forward. Thank you. And
The color was beautiful.
Hi, it
Yeah,
is.
kind
It
of fun.
ends with this. I guess there's almonds in here too. Yeah.
There are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
it's
wish
good.
that was more local.
accessible. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we're spoiled by having homes on the regular.
very much
Yeah.
so. Very much so.
But it'd be nice if we had, some of the collaborations.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
Like,
Has there been any?
what's
Because I
that?
had the Drecker one. Or no, that was
I didn't. That was
Ascension.
Ascension that did the Drecker one. Yeah, yeah.
There's, they're doing more and more, so it's
They
pretty
were-
crazy.
I saw they were collaborating.
Oh, with WeldWorks.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I
So-
saw that
I
should be
saw the
nice.
pictures, yep.
Yeah, yeah. So, fortunately, we've got a plug. Either way,
Well, we might not be. Well, we'll see.
we'll see. So, Andrew, we were talking earlier about local releases. So, a couple of weeks ago, Ascension did a 420 themed release.
Nice segue.
Yeah, right. I thought 420 was really good, and for those of you listening, it's actually a beer called 420, FOTWENNY. It was. Have you had it yet?
That's my only can.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Well, I'll let you do the honors. I don't want to talk about it,
I touch
having
it?
already
You
had
can
it.
touch it.
We're
I
still
gotta
talking
ask.
about a beer can, ladies and gentlemen.
Gotta get permission. You know.
Right, me too, right?
Please ask before you touch it.
Right. That permission is recorded, and so any shit comes up later on, you just come back to this episode
You
and
said yes.
note the permission. He
could
said
touch
yes. So that 420 themed release wasn't unique. I mean, a little bit everybody was doing something 420 that day or that weekend, but the beers actually were really good. The most unique one for me, which wasn't amazing, but I like what they were trying to do, is called Rolled Up. Yeah, The joke kicks in now. Yeah, it's called Rolled Up, and it is a sour, and it is fruited with rolled up candy, like fruit roll-ups. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of sours. I thought it was good, not great, but I thought it would have been better had the fruit flavors been a bit more forward. But short of that, I mean, again, I thought it was really good. I like these kind of themed releases. 420 actually was different than what I expected. So I'll wait until Andrew actually tastes it, or until people actually taste it, before I start talking about my experience with it. I thought it was really good, but it was something other than what I expected. So having said that, I'm looking forward to the releases from Ascension this weekend. All this tequila barrel aging that they're doing.
Seems to be a thing. I think.
Yeah.
I think Witch's Hat is doing.
Yeah, the tequila goes,
the
or
goes
El Chapo goes away.
El Chapo.
I
Which-
had
El
Which
Chapo.
I-
I just got it. It's El Chapo.
Oh,
El
boy.
Chapo.
you got
El
a
Chapo.
you got a Spanish snob over here.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Snob.
Thanks.
Speaker.
All right. Well,
Now that we've cleared that up.
all right.
Okay. Sorry.
Sasha, I'll teach you French later.
Oh, really? Really? Oh, okay. Shit, you did make me blush that time. Okay.
Uh-oh.
boy.
Go on. Nicely done. Shit, what were we talking about?
See now Sasha can't even keep going.
El Chapo.
Okay, come on, go. Wayne, you're in trouble.
So, Harry,
May
I'm going to
not get
guess
it.
what you thought this was supposed to be, and it didn't come through, was the super dank.
I thought I was gonna open the can and the kitchen was gonna smell like hops or
Yeah.
weed, whichever.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
It was you. That was the 420 that you poured.
No, this is the well works that I poured. Andrew's got the
I mean,
420.
all right.
they even
This
have
is
the bud on the can.
Right. So
Right.
looking at it, right, I'm like, okay, I'm expecting like a haze version of Waldo's almost.
So like a
And like the old
taste.
the parental
warning,
advisory,
yep.
right? Yeah.
Taste near Waldo's, but what's the smelling one? Hemperor.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
holy moly!
Yeah.
You open that up,
No.
and the whole room smells
It
of.
does.
We'll say hops.
Yeah. Right.
Andy
Very
likes
strong
the
hops.
Hemperor.
Very strong hops.
So
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Hemperor, at least the 6 that I got
six
at
that you
hand
said.
of. Well, I haven't. I don't know how often.
The 6 you taste tested were
6 I
fine.
taste tested
You,
were very
you
good.
didn't actually drink any of them. You just sat and smelled them.
But it made me wonder, because I don't know that much. I've never made beer, like at least some of us here have.
Yeah.
And
This
it made me wonder if hops are in the hemp family.
Well, they are very close cousins to cannabis.
It is actually in the family.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
All right.
it's
So it's not just a coincidence that a really heavily hop beer smells a little bit like
Well, no, if
the high school bathrooms when
Right,
I was in high school.
well, if you can ever
know,
find it,
high
and
school.
actually they call it
We might have.
they call it safety meeting now, but it used to be called smells like weed. From Dark Horse.
Dark
right?
Horse.
Yeah.
Yep. Smells
Super
smells
dank.
like a safety meeting.
It smells like a safety
like a
meeting,
safety
but it used to be called smells like weed, and it absolutely,
Yep.
as soon as you pop the bottle open, smelled like weed.
But nothing,
incredibly hop forward.
nothing like Hemper. That,
No,
Yeah.
no.
That one, like
Yep.
I had them pop one in the middle of Whole Foods one day,
Yeah.
and it was just like, like the
Yeah.
entire area.
My husband's
And-
a fan of that one. I don't like it, but I'm also not a
The,
cannabis
the,
fan.
the drink is fine.
Yeah.
Well,
but
you're
the-
trying to
the
get off
smell
the
is what's,
IPAs too, yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Yep.
best about it?
The juicy IPAs.
The
are too much
juicy
for me.
IPAs.
I love
Too-
that brute again.
Too juicy for you.
Old
huh?
Nation brute. I drink all day.
You know,
But-
like I said, I drink that stuff
Yeah.
like a shot.
But the New England
Yeah,
IPAs,
can't.
I need to back away from this. They're
What-
too. They like coat your tongue. It's too much. Go on.
Question, Harry.
Yes.
So in 2 weeks,
Yes.
where is our next destination? Just,
I'm glad you asked.
just had to put that out there.
Yeah, so in 2 weeks, we will be at Thomas McGee's Pub at Eastern Market. So Thomas
Okay.
McGee's,
Thomas McGee's.
yeah, they're going to have a special brew, I think from Cunin, that they will have aged in a bourbon barrel that they are going to tap for us while we're there.
Uh-oh.
And if you've not been there, Eric Olson over there is my man. He's the owner, and he has an impeccable bourbon selection.
So they're not going to shut down like many of the.
No,
several other-
Eric's not going anywhere. The last time I was there, I had Parker's Heritage, whichever one was the newest at the time. Some BTAC Stag and Weller.
Nice.
Couple vintages of birthday bourbon. He's got a really top shelf collection that you wouldn't necessarily expect down there. So yeah, that's where we'll be in 2 weeks.
Is it more of a whiskey bar than it is a beer?
Yeah,
place?
beer is. I mean, he keeps a couple of craft beers on tap, but it's not a beer place.
Not that it matters. It's for the culture.
It's for the culture. And this place, when I tell you this place is a pub, it's a pub. Thank you, sir. So when there's a 7 a.m. soccer game, he's open because they're watching soccer. If there's a rugby match on, it's on because they're watching rugby.
Nice.
So it is a true, it's a pub in the true sense of the word.
Excellent.
And Eric Olson, man, he is a Detroit guy through and through. He loves what he does. He loves the area. He actually, he and Wayne had bumped into each other at the cigar bar a couple of days ago, and we all ended up talking, and he invited us down. So who are we to turn down
That's
such
awesome.
an auspicious invite, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers to that. Did anybody else taste this 420?
I'm drinking it
feel
right now.
Yeah, so you're drinking it and you're not even wrinkling your face up. So it's not dank.
Nope, it's not.
So when I see 420 and a Dr. Dre themed label, I'm assuming it's just going, like I said, knock me backwards with the hops. But it's a very good. I thought it was a very well done
Yeah.
beer.
yeah.
There's nothing bold in it at all.
No.
It's just a very smooth, crisp IPA.
Yep. So I said that I was going to mention the May 4th release at Ascension. So they are doing a pineapple, raspberry, guava, just turf, which is one of their sours. They are doing the key lime pie, which was really good the last time they released it. I thought it could have been a little more fruit forward. They're doing a tequila barrel-aged key lime pie, a tequila barrel-aged margarita ghost.
That's how you look at me. That's how you look at me.
Did I do that?
I like margarita.
Margarita, yeah.
Margarita's a lot. Okay.
And then and this is something I'm not familiar with. I don't know that I've had a still barley wine, but this is a bourbon barrel aged still barley wine Available in 375 milliliter bottles.
I don't know what still means, but
I don't either. So
I love me
Like
English
aged
barley wine.
dill?
Well, I was going
Still
to
has
ask.
to be uncarbonated, right?
That's what I was going to.
yeah, so is it the
Does that
equivalent
mean
of
no bubbles?
That's going to be super thick then.
Yeah, so and what it says,
I like it thick.
Super thick.
And
Sasha,
dark.
Right.
super thick.
Ellen, we might need to cut this one off early. The inmates are running the asylum here. So the kind of denotation next to the still barley wine, it says it's subject to the beer behaving and being ready on time. So apparently this is a more complex process than maybe the sours and IPAs that they generally release,
Sounds
because I've
interesting.
never seen that particular disclaimer on one of their releases. So
All right. Can we talk a little bit about tequila beer?
we can talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. Sasha, what's up?
I'm always bummed that there's not enough rum barrel aged beers because I like rum, but I also like tequila.
Sasha will put stuff in rum barrels like Founders puts IPAs in
I
bourbon
know a
barrels.
guy that
Yeah.
has some rum barrels.
Jump in the line. Somebody on time. Okay, I believe
I'm gonna
you.
get real excited. Okay. I really like rum. But the only tequila barrel aged beer that I tried the Sierra Nevada. They did one maybe last year, early this year. It was okay, and then I got a Avery tequila barrel aged one.
Yes.
Oh,
And
who brought you the other rum barrel aged?
Perrin?
RBA
Wait.
DBC.
Oh, was that you? That
Oh yeah. So,
I've had a couple
You
of
better
those.
give Mark his props.
she only wanted one can from Mark. though.
I
I
know,
offered her
I
many
know.
cans. All she wants is one can.
one
Are there
can, huh?
other cans?
oh
still?
yeah.
Well, he
Oh,
said
yeah.
he's got stuff.
We should talk about your stuff.
Oh
Okay.
boy. All right.
So anyway,
Hey,
tequila
Werner,
barrel
you
aged
need to
beer.
be here more. You are on it with the beverage. You, sir, have just earned yourself
he
a
ain't
job.
talking, but
Werner's a bell
he's,
guy.
he's
Got that
tapping.
bell.
He ain't talking. He's tapping.
I bring the beer and hit the bell.
There you go. There you go.
Simple man.
We don't ask for much around here.
Right. So those are the only two that I've had, and I can't say that I love them. The one from Avery was very sour, and I'm not a fan of sours.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing this trend towards other barrel-aged things, and tequila seems to be the hot thing now. I'm bummed that it's not rum as much
Yeah.
as tequila, but, people like what they like. So I've not had any others. What others have you guys had that you like?
So not last summer, but the previous, I was up north, and we had lunch at somebody's tap room, and they had a Blake cider. They have a regular one called El Chapo.
Yeah, of course I've had that.
Did I say that right?
El Chapo.
El Chapo.
El Chapo.
To our guests, I'm sorry you guys have to witness this debauchery. So
We're friends with Mark.
so you're used
So
to this
you know.
shit. Gotcha.
You know.
All right. Yeah.
They've seen the debauch.
And maybe even participated.
They've seen the dong.
They've seen the donk.
They have indeed seen the dog.
It really brings up more questions than answers.
Oh, ouch. That laughed really hard.
So we were at this tap room up north, and they had this tequila barrel aged El Chapo, which I think the regular version is like 7%, and this tequila barrel aged one was like 11.5%.
Is that Blake's or?
Yeah.
It is Blake's.
Wow.
That's
And
the spicy one, right?
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
Oh,
Absolutely amazing.
It's funny you should mention Blake's. Brother Sean Malone
Yeah,
is now he's a Washtenaw coordinator.
dig that.
So
What's up, Sean Malone?
Never know.
Hey,
never
get
know
some-
if you can find
Yeah.
find a keg of.
Yeah, man, you come across a keg of tequila barrel aged El Chapo, man.
Let us know.
Put our Brewz Brothers brand on it, and you might be able to work something out.
Don't
man.
even need to slap it with a brand.
Good deal. So yeah, that's my experience,
Okay.
my best experience
All right.
with tequila aged stuff.
I haven't
I've
found
had
that I
one
love.
from Prairie,
Okay.
the OKC,
It's Prairie. Okay, I've not had
which
it.
is their brown ale in a tequila barrel, and I thought, how does that mix? It doesn't even make
Right,
sense, and
Did it
it was
work?
really good.
And it worked out.
Really
Well,
good.
usually
Okay.
Prairie does a
Yeah,
pretty damn good job with
Exactly.
anything they do.
Yeah, they
but
do.
still tequila barrel and
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
a brown
I wouldn't
ale.
think of a brown ale in a tequila barrel, but I guess
Yeah.
that's why I don't work for Prairie, huh? Let's see.
I've got several years of El Chapo. down in the basement, and I'm probably not going to go up for this year's release. I mean, I do love it fresh.
Yeah.
It has
good.
that instant bite of tequila, like that agave, niceness to it. But I don't know.
Tequila's one of those tastes you just don't forget because most people have had an experience where they've had too much tequila.
Bad.
Oh yeah.
experience.
My head hurt now.
You want to see the worst donkers? That's a tequila night.
Right. Note to self: don't give
I-
donkers tequila because I've seen some donks. I haven't seen the tequila donk.
Yeah, you don't want that. That's like Godzilla.
I've seen bourbon and beer donk. I think that's enough.
I'm not a tequila or a bourbon fan, but I
Okay.
agree with Sasha that a rum barrel might
a
be.
rum barrel aged beer for me does
I
it.
could
There's
do
something
that.
about that flavor, and I liked. We're gonna say, he who shall not be named did the rum runner that I really liked, and I feel like I was the only.
that was.
I was the only person that liked it because
Oh man.
it was super rum forward, and that's what I liked. About
And this has nothing to do with who
The
should,
entity
who
itself.
should not be.
Right.
No.
Because I like a majority of those beers.
But that beer sucks.
But that beer sucked
liked
so
it.
bad.
You know what that beer tasted like to me?
Rum.
Right.
You might as well.
It,
You might as well have rum.
it tasted like.
You might as well buy rum, Sasha.
Well, why else you
Jump in
age
the
something
line.
in a barrel if you don't like
To
what you're aging?
accentuate
Well, this
flavor.
one-
Well, you like that accentuation, but you like to have the other elements of that
it was
beer.
it was very rum forward,
was
and I
just
liked
like-
that.
It was
But-
just a slap in the
A
face.
glass
me-
of Bacardi.
Right. It tasted to me like somebody took a glass and poured it half full of Centennial IPA and the other half full of Bacardi. Not even good rum.
I
Just some
didn't-
Bacardi white label.
I got no
I mean,
Centennial.
Who among us has not had Bacardi white label? Let's not be off.
Straight.
Well, I've had
We've
enough
all
to say
had
that I
it.
know it's not good.
to swing back around on this faux 20,
Yeah.
it has a minor note of bud.
Very.
Very, very minor.
Barely detectable.
Yeah, and very.
But
well,
it's not.
Or very
It's not on the
undetectable.
nose.
Almost undetectable.
No, it's not on. Well, it is on the nose.
You smell it?
Yeah,
I don't
just
know.
just
Let
this.
me
I don't get it on the
Not
nose.
that
it's
I'm
just,
an expert on.
You
that
wouldn't
type
know
of
anything.
Yeah,
stuff.
you wouldn't know anything about
I
that. The devil's lettuce.
The fuck? Ring the bell.
Not on tape delivery.
Oh, shorts, devil's lettuce. God, that was a terrible beer.
It was.
Anyway,
That was a thing.
this has a minor
You know what?
minor
As
marijuana.
it's
smell.
warmed and
like,
you say that, I do get a minor, like, marijuana, cannabis.
just
Just a hint.
just a hint of it. And I think it's on airing.
Because when I drank it the other day, I drank it
Cold?
straight from the fridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get it. Are you getting it as it warmed up? No. Your nose is broken.
You know
Warner.
what? If you drink it,
I don't
as
think
it,
Andrew's got it. I don't think
As it
Andrew's into the
warms.
bud too much.
as it's warmed, and then you drink it, and the back end of that, you'll taste it.
yeah, I
When's the
I
last time-
taste it, but I
Right.
don't
You don't
smell
smell
it.
it.
Yeah, I'm
No,
getting it on the nose.
it
here
was
as
very very minimal, but you get it. It's like seeds and stems.
Not that you know
Are we
anything
veering
about
off
that.
into another segment here?
No,
We're talking about tequila barrel aged beer,
Right,
and we
right.
got all lost.
Now we're back talking
Now
about
we're talking
weed.
about weed. What
so
happened?
anyway, El Chapo.
Right. So what
this
what
weekend.
else would you like to see thrown in a tequila barrel, Sasha?
I need it to be something with a lime forward. I want it to be margarita. Like that's this.
So this
right.
Ascension thing might be
So
your
yeah,
deal.
I'm thinking maybe this is the time for me to go to Ascension. I've never been to Ascension.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
don't know if I can do it this week.
it's gonna be gone, probably.
I guess I better decide. if I'm
Ascension
gonna go this week.
Ascension is like
Oh,
the
no.
Their
Saturday.
sours seem to go less fast. though.
true. Yeah,
So
because
what
I
time
got
does
some
it start?
7 days
Yeah.
this past Monday.
What time does it start? Because I'm going to that vertical tasting with Catherine. Hi, Catherine.
Oh, at Herman's.
Yeah.
Oh, so you'll be right up the street. Let's
So
see.
you were looking
or
for
you could
drinking
go. You could go
partners.
the other way.
Listen.
You could go up to Novi and come. You could go the other way,
It's-
Sasha.
This is
I really only like it one way.
Okay.
You know,
No.
this is
Andy,
really turned
Andy
into
with
a
the bell
shit show
ring.
here. Somebody.
Oh God. Okay. What are we talking
And
about?
when I say the other way, I mean Novi. That's all I mean.
Okay. All right. So wait. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that you
What
guys are
time does it
crazy
start?
on this.
I mean,
bud
they-
smell on this beer.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
man.
your nose is broken.
What time?
Dude.
Sasha, did you smell weed on the
Did you
on
go
the
to
opening?
Michigan State?
Not
No.
I was gonna
Oh.
say the
wanted you to say that.
Obviously, you did not have
the
enough.
No,
AATA
it smells
bus
like an
in the
IPA.
morning
It smells like an IPA.
smells more like weed than
Just-
beer.
just
to
an
me.
No, this
Well-
is very, very light.
But
It's
the
light.
taste
The
on
Ann Arbor City
ends.
bus smells more like weed than that beer, I guess.
The Ann Arbor City
Yeah.
bus smells more like weed than a lot of places.
Yeah, it's true. Hey, too.
Sasha, they have not. Let's see. Oh, it's at noon, Saturday, May 4th,
All right.
my birthday, at noon.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Happy
that.
Harry's Day.
Hey, Harry's
like the
Day.
Harry's Day Prime.
Man, I tell you, Harry's Day on steroids. So, Sasha, if you wouldn't mind grabbing me a can if you make your way
Oh,
over
you
there.
always on the job, ain't you?
Yes. I mean,
He's always trying to get
yeah.
something.
I mean, if you're going to be there.
I'll let you know if
the
I make
cans will
it.
be there. You'll be there.
Depends on
Yeah.
what my Friday's like.
Hey, well.
But if,
Well,
as I go in.
Yeah, yeah.
But
well,
we are supposed to go that vertical.
You did try
at-
this, Sarah?
in Plymouth. So
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
all right. Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
I'll let you know.
Keep me in the loop. Keep me in the loop. I like.
So
I like
the,
beer.
from the Department of Dumb Questions,
The
we're
the only dumb
putting-
question is the one that goes unasked, my friend.
Thank you.
No, there's a lot more dumb.
The
Load us up, Andy.
we put these beers into these liquor barrels. Sorry,
Yeah.
and are some of these liquor barrels came from other liquors, didn't they? I mean, what do they? Does anybody know what they aged tequila in? Is that a brand new barrel or rum? Do they age those in other
So you mean
things?
is it a
I
first
just-
use barrel?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Tequila normally, I think, uses leftover bourbon
Right.
barrels.
because with tequila, what you want to do is because agave is I don't want to call it bland, but it's not a very bold kind of kick you in the ass kind of taste. So you want to use a barrel that's gonna make the spirit more robust. Whereas a rum barrel will make it sweeter. A Scotch barrel will make it, depending on where the Scotch came from, it'll make it
Peaty.
or sweet.
or
Right,
sweet.
right.
Right.
So when something's aged in a tequila barrel, then that means it's going to have a little bit of that tequila and a little bit of
Of whatever else. was in there before.
whatever the tequila was
Yep.
made to taste like. So
I-
that is incredibly complex, and I know
It
a
is.
lot of people, myself included, until I met Sarah and she saved me.
Good job, Sarah.
That
My wife saved me too.
you know, I think well, beer is it's
My
just
wife
simple.
continues
It's
to
a bunch of
right. Daily.
it's a bunch of grains, but
Yeah.
really we're talking
more
about
than
some
that.
of the most complicated brewing out there.
Well, and even when you talk about tequila, like Herradura, some years ago was doing some really creative stuff with tequila, aging it in different types of barrels. And I had a Herradura bottle that was aged in port barrels.
Oh, nice.
Probably the most complex tequila I've ever had. It was very pleasant. Yeah, it was amazing.
You know how I feel about tequila, and it's got that strong vegetal taste.
This
that I
didn't
don't
have it.
Like.
The port
All
rounds
Just
it off.
erased it.
Yeah,
erased
they-
it.
You
And-
need to expand your mind on tequila.
Right.
then.
I've
I'm
got.
trying.
You get a bottle of tequila. I've got a 20-year old bottle of port. We can.
We can make
We
that.
can-
This sounds like trouble.
like-
We can do some swills here.
This
You-
sounds like wherever this share is,
Where
we
we-
need to be there till the next morning.
What's the Bud Light thing that you're supposed to bring me so many times?
the
Natural
Natter
light.
Day.
Oh, Natter
Oh,
Day.
Natter Day.
Yeah.
So I gave it away.
So should we
Wayne-
do
I'm
it?
sorry.
Wayne's
we should,
not here.
We should do a tequila barrel aged Natter Days.
No, we should not. We should not. So, but the Natter Day. So I ended up going. My in-laws will not listen to this, so I'm safe here. But they
They drink it
they
like
drank
fish.
that shit like it was the best thing they ever had. And
Hey.
I knew they
Oh,
would,
my
so I took
goodness.
it to
I
Easter
saw Jimmy
and they drank
Droopy
it.
tagged you in a store that boasted about having racks
He
on
tagged
racks
me like
on
4
racks.
times, and
He
I was
did.
like,
He was like,
"Stop.
Sasha, they got your shit.
Stop.
And
I don't know. It was a joke.
So
Let it go.
you didn't go get in?
No,
Okay.
it's not my shit.
You're talking about natural light here.
Natty Light, and
Natty
they
Light.
did a strawberry lemonade. There's a story. So they did a strawberry lemonade.
The face you made was
variant.
appropriate.
Yes,
Ooh,
yes.
Ooh, the cringe.
So they did a strawberry lemonade variant, and it was in Food and Wine magazine.
I don't think it's fair to call it a
And
variant.
well, we have to. We have to use the terminology. So they put it in Food and Wine magazine, and I saw this, and I put it in the group because it was in Food and Wine magazine, and it was Natty Light, and I'm like, what is this? So it just turned into this joke, and my husband sees it out in the field somewhere, and he buys me a 6-pack of Natty Light. Natterdays is the name of it.
Natterdays, yes.
I drank 2 of these. I drank one and put a picture in there, and Wayne gave me the biggest shit ever about it. It's just ongoing. It just will not die.
Yeah.
It tastes like a shandy. It's like, it's you know.
It's the thing that Sasha gets excited about.
It's not.
Uh-oh.
I get excited about a lot of
She
things.
has talked more about Natterdays than she's talked about anything aside from Tequila
because you
Barrel.
guys keep talking about Natterdays. Every time I see you guys, you talk about
I just want to break in
I-
real quick.
I-
This 420 does have a really dry finish, like not unlike the Cottonmouth that I hear people might get after they smoke marijuana.
I don't know anything about
I don't know firsthand.
They might.
Well, if you're stems and seeds.
it.
That's well, I'm getting some dryness here.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the effect. the
Mark,
Cottonmouth.
I know you're a home brewer, so if you ever come up with something that doesn't quite work out, you could name it Stems and Seeds, and you'll probably get a lot of
Probably.
interest in that.
Man, I've been thinking about, for an eternity. I've been home brewing for 25 years, so I've been
Been home brewing for
Think-
damn near as long as I've been alive.
thinking about. Yeah, I know. I brought it. I brought,
Hey, damn near.
damn, and we say damn near with a exception of 10 to 15.
He's
Right.
been home brewing for more than half of my life. How about that?
But I'm glad Andy came in because now I'm not the old man on campus. Not to say that Stingray Belmont is old. He asked the question.
So Mark keeps saying Stingray Belmont, and that's because when I was in college, I had a radio show, and I went by Stingray Belmont.
You've got the voice, man. You've
You
got
do.
the voice.
You do.
Thank you.
Lovely, lovely tubes.
It was a lot of fun. I played. It was about music, not beer. We didn't talk about beer. In those days.
I was,
Music's
at, I, was,
good, too.
I was at the doctor's office a couple of weeks ago, and I said hello to a woman that was passing by. And she said, "You have a voice for radio." And I said, "Well, I hope I don't have a face for radio." And she was dead silent. So I was like, "Have a nice day."
Right. Okay.
So I think we veered off a little bit. So what would you like to see aside from Natterdays in Tequila Barrels?
I'm never gonna let that shit down.
Never. Nope. You might as well get Natterdays tattooed on your forearm.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I got the perfect artist.
Nope.
Jason Phillips, where you at?
Not gonna tattoo me wherever he's at. Nowadays. In the tequila barrel. It needs to be fruit forward. Lime would be my preference, but anything citrusy would be good. Maybe a goza.
I was about to say, so you need a Gosa.
Well,
yeah.
again, that's what Witch's Hat. They're El Chapo.
Yeah, the shop.
El Chapo.
Super hard. It's the chop.
It's your tongue. Just
Okay.
use your tongue.
Oh, okay.
I already know where this is going.
I'll learn eventually.
Ellen, what do we have? About 6 more minutes for these savages to... Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, that is their tequila barrel aged goza.
Okay.
So
I should probably go check that out.
yeah,
Well, something like a
Presently
Goza
available?
or a sour goes well in a tequila barrel.
very
Yeah.
well, very well.
Um,
And I liked it. It just doesn't age. It doesn't age very well.
So
drink
that's
it
what
when
I was.
got
That's
it.
what I
So
was going to
drink it.
mention.
Drink
is
it.
that the kind of beers that go in tequila barrels aren't the kinds of beers you want to hang on to. You want to drink them when you get them.
All right.
Unlike bourbon barrels, Scotch barrels,
Well,
rum barrels.
no, I'm thinking, Cellar Project, basically sours, like some superior sours or some superior Belgians.
I would like to say there's no such thing as a superior sour.
What about drink after?
Drink after is that the name it has now?
Can I?
No, that's
can
that,
I do a?
Stone drink after.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
Well, you told me I can't bring any more of those to Swillshares, but
I
will,
remember that
I
in
will.
the
I will
notes for
continue.
Swillshare.
I will continue to bring those until they are gone.
Well, I
just-
told you that and then broke the rule.
Well, it was one sitting in the back of your fridge. So
Sarah, you got a question
I was just
for
going to
us?
say to put a little plug in for my hometown Bad Brewing Company in Mason, Michigan.
yeah,
They're canning their first beer, which is actually a tequila barrel aged lime goes.
Wow.
there you go.
Look at
Sasha,
that
sounds
segue.
like, sounds like you and
Okay.
Sarah need to exchange information.
I
I'll
you
pick
do.
you one up next time I'm there.
You can go up to
At the
Mason.
last minute,
You go up to
everything came
Mason
together.
and yeah.
Where exactly is Mason?
It's
By East Lansing.
Yeah,
15
Okay,
minutes
all
south
right.
of Lansing.
So not too
not
far.
far.
So maybe you
Alright.
make a stop at
I
Old
will.
Nation and take Mark some water. And Mark, get you
Hey,
some
Mark.
water, baby. Yeah, you know.
Right. Another thing I will never live down.
Well, you could do the blueberry day.
It's gonna be in Ferndale.
It's gonna
though.
be in. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be.
not gonna be at
It's
a
at
Old
OEB's,
Nation.
man. One-Eyed Betty's.
I'm
So we're-
still wearing my
so
blueberry
we're
dress.
podcasting that night.
Are we going up there?
No,
I'm going up there.
So this is the thing.
It'll
And-
be
and-
at.
Oh, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. It's 2 weeks from today.
It said Wednesday and Thursday.
So
though.
I'm assuming because it's going into past midnight on Wednesday. I'm
Oh.
waiting for Mark Logus or one of his people to let me know what the hours are on it. Because what I'm thinking is that I'm just gonna have to make a day of it on Wednesday and hit OEB's for lunch
Yeah.
and then head down to
Get
Eastern
some
Does it
Market.
start at lunch?
I hope so. I'm waiting.
Oh, there's no.
He
no
just
well,
sort
Mark.
of chuckled at us and didn't give us a real answer.
Well, he tagged
He didn't give
he
us a-
tagged the person that's in charge of those sorts of
Okay.
things, and we haven't gotten a response.
And Wayne's still waiting for that pastry stout answer,
Wayne-
so you
what?
got to get in line.
It's fictional. It ain't never happened. There ain't no pastry stuff.
Mark, where's the pastry stout?
No. Some people could have come and had some pastry stuff.
It wasn't there when we came.
Well,
if
for-
that was the point.
For those of
That's
you,
what you said.
I don't even know how to read that.
you know what? I'm glad we are about to wrap this up. So listen, for those of you who are unaware, and if you might, desire to bump into the Brewz brothers in real life somewhere, on May 15th, One-Eyed Betty's in Ferndale will be tapping Blueberry Boss Tweed. Boss Tweed is the double New England IPA.
What was that
that
dinosaur
was-
sound that you
That was
just
my
made?
excited
I was gonna
blueberry
say,
sound.
let's see if that sound comes again when I say blueberry. Blueberry.
I can't do it again.
Blueberry Boss Tweed. You gotta have it.
Blueberry Boss Tweed.
I'm not saying anything.
They will be
selling
tapping
it the first time.
They will be tapping the one and only tapping of Blueberry Boss Tweed. So if you don't make it to One-Eyed Betty's on Wednesday, May 15th, you will never know the joy that may or may not be.
So
That
much
absolutely
Blueberry Boss.
will be.
As Mark said,
Blueberry
this could be
Tweed.
the best or the worst thing ever.
I said, "Oh shit! This could be the best or the worst thing
It's gonna be
ever."
the best.
Which Mark did respond to. He's like, "The worst ever."
So
But again, one chance.
one
Yes.
chance. This is your shot.
Good or not, I'm going to be there.
Good or not, you gonna be there?
Yes.
All right. Well,
With
like I
blueberries
said,
on.
at this point, I'm presuming it's going to be starting during the day at some point at One-Eyed Betty's. So the last time I went to a release there,
Ferndale, right?
Ferndale, yeah. So the last time I went to a release there, the time where we did the blind comparison of the M43 that was brewed in Williamston versus the one that was brewed at Brew Detroit, and I was the only one who got it right.
Ring the bell.
Oh!
Always ring the bell on
I'm
that.
just gonna bring that up. I wasn't there because I could tell you.
But that was, I think, a lunchtime kind of deal. I want to say we went at like 3. So if this is a similar thing, I figure I'd get over there at 3.
Oh, if it's a Wednesday.
Have a couple of Blueberry Boss Tweeds.
Yeah, why not?
And then head my ass down to Eastern Market to Thomas McGee's with my man Eric Olson and get into some stuff that he's got going on for us down there. And it'll make for a very pleasant May Wednesday. And one of the things on my birthday celebration list. Check it out.
Harry's month.
Harry's month.
Harry's month.
That's right. Cheers to that.
Every
Yes.
day.
Salute. Harry's month. Every day.
Where can a girl bring a blueberry cobbler to this?
Ooh.
In my
Hey,
pocket.
are you talking about bringing it to OEB's?
I like
or
your
I
top
don't
line
know.
pocket.
I don't know.
I tell you,
I'm asking
if
where.
you make a blueberry cobbler, we'll find a place for it.
Okay.
So
I can do that for
you just bring it. We'll figure out where to put it.
I love
How's
me
that
some
sound?
blueberry.
Which
Love
M43 was better?
Which M43? Quite honestly, they were very similar. If someone were to serve them to me at a bar side by side, if I ordered 2, I wouldn't have known the difference. But because we were there concentrating and trying to figure out the difference, I did not flip a coin. We got Andrew over here doing his best mime impression. I did not flip a coin. I knew one tasted different.
Okay.
But truth be told, if you were at an establishment and you ordered one and the next one came from the opposite that the first one did, you wouldn't know the difference. And that's a feather in the cap of Brew Detroit
Yeah.
to replicate that recipe to the degree where you don't know.
Whew, that
You know,
fear of
it
the
wasn't
dark.
done.
I do love
I
a
had my
barley
first
wine.
2 Brew Detroits tonight. So.
I like Brew Detroit.
Yeah.
Have you had the Detroit
Awesome.
Cold Brew?
No.
They make a coffee stout that is excellent. It's low ABV. It's like
that's my
a 5 or 6%.
Yeah, he
You
likes
could,
coffee.
yeah, you could. It's like, so if you want coffee but don't want a cup of coffee, Detroit Cold Brew, very low ABV, very easy to drink. It's really good stuff. They're doing good stuff at Brew
And
Detroit.
Do they have a tap room?
Brew Detroit, I don't think so, because they're in Eastern Market, right? They're right across from Eastern Market Brewing.
No,
I don't
So you
think
have
they
to go somewhere else to get their beers.
the map.
Yeah, I get my
map
stuff
for
from,
Brew
Holiday.
Detroit is on it's West Detroit. So I don't know if they have a tap room or not.
Right, I get my
I don't
stuff.
think so.
I get mine from like my local places carry it, Superfine in Canton and Holiday Market Canton. Right, yeah. Hey, big bells for Superfine. They do great work over there.
Royal Oak.
They look out for
Ashley.
me. Oh, and Ashley
Yeah,
at
Ashley.
Holiday Royal Oak, he gets a bell too. We got some big stuff coming from him. We were expecting it to have been here already, so that'll be here at some point. So with all of these bells, I'm gonna go ahead and round this out because I think we've exhausted our time for the evening. Thanks for hanging out with the Brewz brothers for lucky episode 13. Ellen is giving me the 2-minute sign. So
that fear of the dark. Did you get some of that?
Fear of the Dark, I did. I love it.
Yes.
This is a.
Oh man, it's thick.
It's
I
thick
always say I want something
Thick
lighter and
with
thick.
2 C's.
Ding.
and no K, just thick
Just thick.
I always say I want something
like
lighter.
cold peanut butter.
Yes.
I say I want something lighter until I have a barley wine, and then I remember how much I love the higher ABV things.
Holy
I do.
moly.
Well, barley wine is one of those things that if you're a beer newbie, you don't necessarily gravitate towards. My first experience with barley wine was Bell's Third Coast Old.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
great one.
And
That might have
it-
been my first
That's
one
a-
too.
that-
Yeah.
that's a
set the bar. It's
Yeah.
what
That's a
ma-
good
It's
starting
what
one.
made me seek out barley wines. And in my early start in craft beer, I sought out whatever had the highest ABV. And so that's what started me with drinking Third Coast Old.
It's
And
good.
from there on, every time I saw a barley wine, I'm like, oh, I need to try that. I need to try that. And so this one is really, really
That
well
Eastern
done.
Market Brewing barley wine. Was
That Eastern
pretty
Market
fine.
Brewing barley wine
It
was damn good.
Solstice.
Yes.
Is that what that? Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
good.
This,
That was
this,
good.
this one's been sitting on the floor for 2 to 3 years.
You know, those
I think
folks
that's
at
a
those
16.
folks at Old Nation don't do a bad barley wine either. you
Yeah, I
know.
think 16.
Don't
pretty
think I
decent.
had there.
Fear-
I thought you
Fear-
did. I think you
Did I?
were saying you wanted more. Did you have too much at Old Nation and not enough water?
Sasha might have said she wanted more.
I always want
I mean, surprise.
You don't remember filling your growler and saying, "Is that root beer or barley
I
wine?"
do now. That
Yeah,
you say
there
it,
you go.
remember?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on
All
to
right.
something else.
So,
Yeah, we're wrapping it
yeah,
up.
we're gonna wrap up with that. We'll close out the evening. Thank you for hanging out for a lucky episode 13. Thank you to our special surprise guests, Andy and Sarah. We appreciate y'all joining us in
Thank you.
studio.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed your time and enjoyed the beers and enjoyed hanging out and
Yes.
rapping. And we'll see you guys hopefully out
Memorable.
soon and often. So with that, we'll sign out. There you go. Good deal. Brewz Brothers, episode 13 for the culture. Another one in the books. Happy Harry's month. Happy Wayne's Day.
Exactly.
Happy Mark's Day Eve. All of that good stuff.
Happy Sasha's Day.
Happy
and
Sasha
Sasha's Day.
Saturday.
Sasha Saturday.
Saturday.
We'll see y'all soon. Peace.
cheers.
Bye.
All right.